I welcome all the participants to session 2 of this day. We just saw how Google Forms is a very effective tool, especially at times like these. Now, we are going to see, continuing with the series, we are going to step on to the next session. And to this session, I'm very happy to introduce Dr. Madhavi Dharankar, who is an associate professor and head of Department of Educational Technology at SNTT's Women's University. Dr. Madhavi is also the SWAYAM coordinator for the university, and she has 15 years long association with distance education, as she was assistant professor in School of Education, Yashwantrao Chavan, Maharashtra Open University, Nashik. She was also the head, Department of Student Welfare and coordinator of Kusum Magaraj Chair at YCMOU. Dr. Madhavi has contributed as subject matter experts in projects like NME ICT, EPG Pathshala, and in some sessions during faculty development programs under MHRD initiatives such as TLC, HRDC, etc. She is the principal investigator for a research project focused on social media usage, funded by MHRD under Teaching Learning Center, Department of Educational Technology, SNTT Women's University. Dr. Madhavi has been reviewer at national and international level for various journals and events. Dr. Madhavi was also a mentor in open education for Better World Initiative of UNESCO Slovenia during 2019 and is OER course developer in 2020 in the same project. The instructional designing in any technology-enabled teaching fascinates Dr. Madhavi. Mixed and qualitative researches are of special interest for Dr. Madhavi. Ma'am, we are very, very happy to have you in this session, and we look forward to hearing from you because the morning session has been so enriching. We look forward to an equally enriching session from you. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I thank the department, Professor Bhan, and the entire organization team for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. And I would fail in my duties if I don't thank Dr. Jayashree ma'am, because whatever technological problem we had in the morning, she was the saver, I would say. So thank you very much, everybody. Now, before we go to the actual tool of SurveyMonkey, let me start sharing my screen. Hope you are able to see the screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we're able to see the screen, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Fine. So, understanding a particular tool, I would like to just take you ahead. Yeah. We have been discussing about research and the various aspects of research. Say, this is the 5th day. Before we collect the data, actually, it's a long process, right from the review, the theory part, then the variables, objectives, the aspects are developed through all this understanding that gets developed. So all this needs to be in place, and there needs to be clarity with the researcher on all these aspects before one gets on to any kind of technological tool. There is no shortcut to this, or there is no option for this. So this clarity is absolutely essential, and no technological tool can replace the clarity on this part. So let me let us be clear about this, because many a times people feel that okay, technology is a magic wand. So, but these basics are very much essential. Now, come after, suppose we are done with all this and our tool is actually ready, maybe in on a paper or in Word file or whatever copy paste type of software. That kind of file is it's ready, and then now what how we go ahead. So earlier were the days when I'm sure all of us have gone through the process where we have we have gone to places, actually physically visiting places, taking those loads of maybe questionnaire or whatever tools and distributing and collecting. So we don't work that way right now. We use a lot of technology. Now, even within technology, I'm seeing there is quite a lot of change. In the sense, earlier it was mail would come having a questionnaire attached. So even that mail has become lighter by the time. So that heavy loaded mail with the attachments, nobody sends those kind of mails. And especially during the COVID period, people have all the more started using the language of link bhejo. So they understand the language of link, and like so that is very true even in case of the collection tools we use, may it be Google Form that just now you saw, or may it be SurveyMonkey. So with that background, now let us try to understand SurveyMonkey. So this is one, I would say it's a proprietary software. So, but we in Department of Educational Technology and overall in SNDT, we try to use the free softwares or unpaid versions. So that's what we definitely talk about and make people use. When it comes to SurveyMonkey, there are many options of free version and paid version. We are going to enter into the actual SurveyMonkey website and we are going to develop tool. We are going to do that. But I thought before we enter into the website, possibilities or utilities with the SurveyMonkey. Now the name is survey, so maybe one would get that kind of a notion that, oh, it is for survey. So that is not the case. It is not only for survey, but there are many utilities that are possible with SurveyMonkey. So the first, of course, is questionnaire and scales. Now, when we talk about scales, as we know that the variety of scales that are used, all those possibilities are there in case of SurveyMonkey. So it could be an opinionaire, it could be interest inventory, or a feedback scale also should be possible, and attitude scale also should be possible. So in this particular diagram, those scale and questionnaires are kind of shown separately. In the actual tool, both of them could be used in combination. May I request to mute the participants because there is a lot of sound that could be heard. If you could mute the participants, just one sec. Beyond the questionnaire and scale, it is possible that the content could be developed. So just now, how we saw it in case of Google form, it could be converted into a quiz. Similarly, that possibility is also there in case of SurveyMonkey. So it has all. Now, as I said that there is free software, there is paid software, paid version of SurveyMonkey. So in case of the free version, there are limited possibilities or limited facilities that are available. So survey-wise, one can take unlimited surveys. Survey has to be limited to only 10 questions. The responses that could be collected using that particular survey could be maximum 40, and it could be shared with through say email or through embedded website or even through Facebook. I mean any social media. So maximum 3 could be used. There is mobile app also available for SurveyMonkey, so that can be utilized. Now, when you look at especially at these 3 features, that only 10 questions and 40 responses, and only maximum 3 collectors, one can say that SurveyMonkey option is useful only for the small studies.
Please
There is
request, I'm
echo coming.
requesting all, sorry ma'am, I'm interrupting you. Requesting all participants who are using multiple apps to join in to please ensure that the audio is switched switched off on one app and is on only on one app. Thank you.
Yeah. Should I go
You
ahead?
can continue.
Thank you. So with these limitations that only 10 questions and only 40 respondents, only 3 channels, this particular option makes it useful only for small studies. If you are planning to use SurveyMonkey for a larger scale, for funded research or for institutional purposes, then one will have to go for the paid version. Now, these are some limitations we saw here as the facilities, but when we actually want to see the tool, that time you will come to know that there are many other limitations also. And it could be used in any languages that are Unicode compatible. And a variety of questions could be many, like MCQ, checkboxes, drop down, and text boxes. Okay, with that, I'm going to stop the screen share, stop the PPT as of now. Okay, so we will now enter into the actual tool website, SurveyMonkey website. So let me share that screen. Hope you are able to see the screen now.
Yes, ma'am, we can see the screen.
Yeah.
We can, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. So, so I go on Google, type SurveyMonkey, which I have typed just now. And when I click on that, it takes me to the SurveyMonkey page. Now it is directly taking me to my page because I have already logged in. When you do it for the first time, it will ask you to register with whatever email ID, and that's a very small, simple. Once that is completed, this is the kind of page that is seen. So if you will see that there is one dashboard over here. Then there are my surveys, plans and products. I'm not going to look into that because we are not here for marketing SurveyMonkey or any proprietary software. So this is the kind of page that, excuse me. Okay, so this is the kind of dashboard that one sees. If if I click on my surveys, it will give me the list of the surveys that are created. If you are using it for the first time, this page will be blank initially. So while for creating a new survey, I can either start from my survey or I can go to dashboard. I'm starting from dashboard so that we can start creating a new survey. Okay, so most of you will be from this page, so we will use this page for creating survey. Okay, so to create survey, which is a white button over here. Besides that, there is upgrade. So upgrade means it is asking you that you buy the paid version and upgrade the facilities that are available in the in SurveyMonkey. So we are not going to do that right now. So we go to create survey initially. There are many options that will appear in front of you. If you are again using SurveyMonkey for the first time, you will not get your page will not look something like this, but you will 3 buttons that build it for me, start from template, and start from the scratch. We are not getting into the purchase panel because like we are limiting our discussions to only whatever facilities are available in the free version. So these 3 buttons you will get. Since there are many other things that have been used and explored by me, it is showing that all the other buttons and other things on the screen as of now. Okay, so in the build it for me, if I click on that ready-made tools available, I mean template, it asks me that what is your focus. Okay, so we'll click on build it for me. Click on build it for me. It is asking me what do you want to, whom do you want to, so what is the target group in short. So they have a limited target, set of target groups, not the target group that can take care of all possible researches, but nevertheless, at least some are there. So suppose I click on the students and or parents. So it is the evaluation, it is a course evaluation, school evaluation, parent feedback, quiz. So there are many options that are possible under this. And there is other option also that if whatever we want is not covered under this, it could be taken care of. Just for one, muting myself 1 second. Yeah. Some call from university for important things. So that anyway. Suppose I want to go option. So here focus is to ask the students whether like how happy they are about the course. So this is now this kind of shows a progress bar of how I'm going ahead. Now here I can put the logo, but again, if you see that this is a paid feature, so I cannot use it for in the free version. That facility is not available to me. So here there is a small button which is skip this step. So I can skip that step and go ahead. Okay. Now it is taking me to actual thing. So when I click on and I come into the page where the actual formation of questions could be there. So the moment I come on this particular page, this Genius gets popped up over here. Okay, so it is basically kind of helps me, but it also prompts me to go for the paid version. So here you can see that it is asking that, oh, do you have more questions than 10? Then go for the paid version and things like that. So I may or remove our branding. Their logo will appear. If I don't want that, then that is to go for the paid version. So I click on this cross on the Genius Assistant. It is always available even if I take it away from here. So I right now don't want that assistance. So I'm clicking on that so that my screen becomes a little less clumsy. You can see here it is written Genius Assistant is available here anytime if I want to shift to. So that is possible. Okay, so now it is, I had chosen that purpose that I want to ask the students and I want to ask them about how, like their feedback, the course and their experiences. So here the SurveyMonkey gives ready-made options. So maybe this is one of the advantages in SurveyMonkey that the questions are ready-made. Maybe you can directly use, or at least some basic thinking has been done by them. So they say that it is prepared with the help of many experts. So these kind of questions could be useful. It also gives the option, the comment that this is one of the most popular item or this wording is one of the most popular wording. So you can choose to use that or you can also modify that. Okay, so we when we go ahead, it is the first question. Overall, how did you rate the course? How would you rate the course? So the options are given. There are 5 options. But suppose I want to change the wording of the question, or if I want to change the wording of these options, or even the number of options. Because in rating scale, if you go theory wise, we say that the options should always be in even numbers and not in odd, because there is a tendency to give the central answer. That is why. So how do I change it? So the moment I come in this gray area in which the entire question is being seen, you can see that there are many buttons over here. So the first button, edit, we can use that button. So when I click on edit, type of version that appears in my front of me. So overall, rate the course. Now, suppose I am not asking them to rate a course, I am asking them to rate the program. So I can delete this program over here. Okay, so I can change. I can change, edit the question itself. Then there are 5 options. Imagine that I don't want this any option. I don't want this good, because I want to force them to either take the 2 extremes or the middle 2 options. So I will suppose I don't want this good option. Then I click on. You can see this plus and minus button over here. The plus button will add another option after good. Okay, something like this. Or if I don't want this option of good, the central option at all, I can remove this. So removing this, I'm having only 4 options now. Okay, so this is how you can edit the question and save it. Okay, so now it is looking overall, how would you rate the program? And then I have the 4 options that are given to the respondent. Then the next question again, how convenient was the time for you? So again, there are ready-made responses that are they are given, and the researcher can decide whether one wants to go ahead with the same or whether one wants to change the wording and the option, number of options, as well as the wording of the option. The next option that is available over here is the option, the word itself. Click on the option. It gives that whether it is the compulsory, require an answer to this question. So since you have learned fortunately the Google form, taking reference from that in Google we click on required, that it is an essential question. So if I want that, I can click on that, yes, this answer to this question is needed. I want to change out of how the choices are displayed. So in that case, it is possible that I can make change. So whether the choices to be seen as one column or multiple columns or horizontal, how do I want? So I can make those changes over here.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Random. Yes, sir. Yes.
Sorry, to interrupt once again. Could I request you to please speak in Hindi as well as English, because we have a lot of participants who are Hindi speaking and don't follow English entirely. So a mix of both would be great. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. I didn't realize that. Okay. सिर्फ मुझे मेरी हिंदी आपको थोड़ी बेयर करनी पड़ेगी, बोलूंगी मैं, क्योंकि मेरी हिंदी उतनी अच्छी नहीं है, एकदम टिपिकल बम्बईया हिंदी है, तो जस्ट बेयर विथ इट. होप अभी बोला वो समझ में आया होगा, ऐसा लाइक आई होप कि समझ में आया है आपको. तो हम लोग देख रहे थे कि ये ऑप्शंस में हम लोग जाएंगे तो वो क्वेश्चंस कैसा दिखना चाहिए या वो कंपलसरी होना चाहिए कि नहीं, ये वाले चॉइसेस हमें आ जाते हैं और वो डिसीजंस देना है हमको सर्वे मंकी को. तो ये फर्स्ट था कि वेदर ये कंपलसरी है कि नहीं, तो हमने बोला कि हाँ ये कंपलसरी है, रिक्वायर्ड टू आंसर द क्वेश्चन. फिर वो कैसा दिखना चाहिए देखने वाले को, तो वो सिंगल कॉलम या कैसा दिखना चाहिए, वो बहुत सारे ऑप्शन है, तो उसमें से आप सिलेक्ट कर सकते हो. आई कैन पुट इट एज नो 2 ऑप्शंस. फिलहाल तो एक कॉलम में दिख ही रहा है वो वैसे भी. रैंडमाइज और फ्लिप चॉइसेस. ओके, सो इट विल आस्क मी कि उसको रैंडमाइज करना है या अल्फाबेटिकली आना चाहिए, या ईच रिस्पोंडेंट के लिए ये ऑप्शन फ्लिप होना चाहिए, तो वो दैट आई कैन सिलेक्ट फ्रॉम हियर. ओके, देन एडजस्ट द क्वेश्चन लेआउट. so question should start in the new row, और कितना पेज का कितना परसेंटेज उसने फिल करना चाहिए वगैरह, यहाँ पे you can give those kind of options. Okay, and question text. So start your A or B test by adding your question to test variation. Edit. तो इस प्रकार से हम लोगों को जो जो यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करना है वो सिलेक्ट करके देन वी कैन क्लिक ऑन सेव बटन. तो हमको फिर से हमने चूज किया था कि वो ऑप्शन जो है वो हमको 2 कॉलम में दिखने चाहिए. सो नाउ दे हैव स्टार्टेड बीइंग सीन इन 2 कॉलम. Okay, so what time would you work better? What time would have? तो सपोज वो कोर्स या प्रोग्राम कुछ सपोज सुबह 8 से 10 बजे तक चला है, तो वो अच्छा आपको था या कोई और ऑप्शन आपको अच्छा होता था? दैट्स व्हाट इज बीइंग आस्क्ड. तो अभी यहाँ पे हम लोग देखेंगे कि यहाँ पे रेटिंग स्केल के जैसा आइटम है और यहाँ पे टेक्स्ट बॉक्स डाला गया है. तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन जो मैं बोल रही थी कि क्वेश्चनर और रेटिंग स्केल का कॉम्बिनेशन हो सकता है, तो ये उसका उदाहरण यहाँ पे दिख रहा है हमको. मटेरियल के बारे में पूछा जा रहा है. सो सिमिलरली द क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. सो सपोज आई डोंट वांट टू चेंज बियॉन्ड दिस, okay, because we have to see other formats also, so that is why I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. So I have there are questions and I'm going to retain them. How well was your instructor? They were answering the questions. Raising your questions, doubts के लिए कितना comfortable थे आप, उसके लिए पूछा जा रहा है. So I can go on changing the way I want. Okay, for saving time right now I'm not changing them. And what are the most important takeaways for you from this particular event? Now you can see that there are 11 questions, whereas we have permission to use only 10 questions. So we will have to remove one question. Okay. Suppose I don't want to want a question about the home assignment. Okay, so I can go to delete. Okay. And suppose I don't know how comfortable you were feeling voicing your doubts or questions. So even that I am not interested in. So I can delete that. Okay, so it gets deleted. So now I'm having 9 questions. So out of these 9 questions, there were some questions which I took ready-made that were available, whereas I made changes in a few questions, and this is how my questionnaire or my tool with 9 items is ready. Now, these are fine. I was okay with whatever. There were some editing and some ready-made, but I have some question in my mind which is not included in this original tool at all. Then can I add it to the original tool? So yes, I can do that. After this, I can add a new question here. Okay, now when I add this, now it gives me this small window because it doesn't know what type of question I'll be asking. Okay. So that is why the kind of options or the format of options is not seen, unlike earlier. Earlier they were giving question as well as possible responses. So that is right now, unless I express that what I want, it will not open this particular option for me. Okay, so suppose I want to ask them how was your search experience? Okay, so the moment I ask that, it asks me that, okay, this is multiple choice possibly. So when I click on this, now here you will see, sorry, when it comes to the types of questions or the types of options that are possible, there are so many in comparison with perhaps a tool like Google Forms. Okay, so there is like many of us have been using and responding to this MCQ type multiple choice. There are check boxes, star rating, file upload. So suppose you want them that, okay, you upload a file of your a picture that you do or a concept map that you prepared during this course work. So one can upload that file. There is a single text box. So suppose, how was your research experience? Suppose I want to ask them I want them to write something. So I can ask them to write it in a single text box. Okay, so in that a single text box will appear when I save. Okay. Even if suppose initially I think that single text box is okay, but suppose I want to go for multiple choice or a rating scale, that is possible. Here there is also a drop down list possible. Suppose you're asking them a question, for example, of which state do you come from? So there are more than 35 answers for this in case of India. So in that case, rather than giving that entire list, the drop-down list can appear so that the question per se will take the minimum space in the questionnaire. Similarly, there is ranking possible. So suppose I go for ranking. Okay, and I want to add here that, or rather, I would need to pen. What did you enjoy in your research experience? Okay, and they have to rank it. So the first option may be discussion with guide. Collecting data and review. Okay, right now we have for only 3 options so that we can like get the feel of it, how it appears. Okay, and then I save it. So thus we have the option. There are 10 questions now. See, if you remember, we have selected this or made this particular question as the ranking question. So here it will appear when we see how it looks for the response. Okay, and then when I'm done with the questionnaire or the tool, I can click on done. Okay, and save. Okay, so right now my tool is ready. I can of course go back and because right now I'm viewing my own tool from the developers version or from the edit kind of window. Okay, so if I want to go and see how it is seen by the respondent, after this design survey, I can, there is a button called as preview and score. So I click on preview. So it will show me how it looks. Again, the Genius Assistant appears over here. So I don't want that Genius Assistant right now. So I'm clicking on asking it to. Okay, so now here I'm able to see the entire questionnaire or a tool, how it will be it will be seen by the respondent. Another interesting feature over here is you can see this small window, device view. So as I said, it can be shared with the respondents. They can respond it through either laptop, desktop, tablet, or cell phones. So here it is preview on desktop. So right now it is green. So whatever is being shown to me. So first we will see that entire version, how it looks. So it is just one below the other. We had changed this into 2 columns. So now it is being seen in 2 columns. So this is how it is going ahead. And done. Fine. Now I want to see it how the, if I'm anticipating that my respondents could also respond from the tablet. So preview on tablet. It's not different than the one from the computer. Third one, the small vertical rectangular icon is for the from the phone. So when it goes to phone, then you will see the view. There is a difference. So here it is. You can see the question gets kind of wrapped down on the second line. Options are available one below the other. If you remember, for the second question, we had converted the options into 2 columns. But when the view is of that of a mobile or a cell phone, the options are necessarily coming one below the other and not in columns for the obvious reason of the shape and size of the cell phone. So it's very small, so naturally it is the vertical scroll much more compared to the one on desktop or tabs. Okay, and you can thus you can see the entire tool like this. Okay, and then that is how it will look. So I started designing survey or designing the tool. Then I saw how it looks for my respondent. The third option is the collect responses. I want to collect the responses. Okay, so there are options. As I said, that there are 3 different modalities that could be used for collecting the responses. Here can be sent by email. Here there is a link that is created and that can be shared with the respondents. And here you can again click, have it in the as a part of document to them. So suppose I want to send them as a link. Okay, so course evaluation survey. I told you it goes to the paid version pop-up because it wants people to buy the paid version. Actually, it should not come. I should be able to. Yeah, it's keep popping up. Yeah, you're right. Yes, here, are you able to see that since some of you are responding, this number was initially 3, now it has gone to 9. Okay, we will go to analyze results now with these. So here you can see that it is prompting that by the responses, add new collector. So that is, they said it's a being proprietary software. It at times prompts one to buy. Okay. So here when we go to the analyze results, there is question summaries, insight and data trends, and individual responses. So first we will see the question summaries. That there are so many of you have responded, so that is coming here, that who has responded, what time and all that. Right now, we don't want that, so we will go ahead. Okay, this is for question number 1. Okay, the next question. Yeah, sorry. Here it was about the email IDs again, question number 2. So this will we will straightway go to the question number 3. That what is the level of research that you are into. So you can see that there is a graph it shows. If I don't want to see the graph, I want to see the original score, then here is the table that is available that is being shown. So master's level, MPhil, PhD and postdoctoral researches and the total. So here is the tabular form, in number form, the data is being given, whereas here it is being given in the graphical form. Okay, so that was for third question. And yeah. Another question asked was, does the research brings in the excitation for me? So the kind of, that is, you can see only one, because it is showing the average. So the average is 73. So from 0 to 100 to 73%, or to that extent, the respondents enjoy being in research. So I'm just wondering that why there is still a lack of 27%. Why not 100%? So anyways, so but here is the average, the total number, and how many responses were obtained for this particular question. Now, as we had seen, there was one question about ranking, that to what extent, if you are asked to rank these 5 activities in research, which is that activity which you enjoy the most, and then the next one, and then the next one. You can see that the interesting thing, the most interesting thing that the researchers find is the discussing the research with others. So that is what they find, and very close to that is the next activity they enjoy is review of literature. This is really surprising, because whomever I have spoken to, generally people don't like reviewing literature. They say, "Oh, बहुत boring hai." You know how writing chapter 2 is a big headache for them, it seems. Okay, and collecting data is the least thing that they enjoy. So this is what they you can see that there is the graphical representation given over here. Here again, as I said, for below every graph there is a table on the basis of which this appears, that is given. Okay, we come to the again the part of okay, there is the last sixth one also, that visual literacy is very essential in research. So they had to opine about this. So the highest number of people, almost 60% of them, have said that yes, to a great deal. but there are still a few. So they say, no, it is nothing to do with visual literacy and research. In the tabular form data is given below. Okay, so like that, for everything we have the graphical representation as well as tabular data. Now this is within SurveyMonkey, right? I want to use it somewhere else, or I have conducted my survey or conducted this study, collected the data, and I want to share these summaries with my guide. So what do I do? How do I share with the guide, or how do I take it out of SurveyMonkey? So here there are some facilities as well as there are some limitations, this being a free version. So when you go to save as, click on that, there are options coming. So share as the data, shared data link. If I click on that, it's open. So this link basically is the with the results. So I can see that, I don't want to upgrade. So this is the link of the analysis. So when you have to, when we are done with everything collected data, you may merely share this link with your guide. So you can save it. I don't need to copy like this because I may make mistakes while copying. I may, miss out a particular small part. Then the link will not work. So in that case, I can just come on this, this window, I can click on save. So the link has got saved. And then I can share the link with anybody either through email or through any other mode otherwise. Okay, so this is how it is being seen over here. This is the file that I can see. You can see the invite button here. So you can invite somebody to collaborate, but again this is you can't go for that option in the free version. Okay, so but I can also share it through the Google Drive. So that is a folder could be created and it could be saved. So we will try to see how how do we share it through save it in the Google file. So select a folder. So for today's workshop, I had created this DS workshop folder. So I'm selecting that. You can see the select button here and I click on that. So my results go and sit inside it is saved successfully. So I'm closing it. So that is possible. Now for a time being, we open the for a minute, I'll stop sharing so that I can enter my email and we will be able to see the live. Fine. So we are now inside the this DAC workshop folder. Now you can see that there are two files over here because I was doing this earlier also. So that is why that timing could be seen. Sorry, this was earlier, June 11th, and this is the present one. Now I want to see the results. I want to see the inside of it. So I click on that and open. When I click on open with, it gives me actually one option, that is SurveyMonkey. So when I click on that, it is getting open. That analysis which I had seen is now available here for seeing, or both the graphs, tables, everything can be seen over here. Okay, now the next question is, fine, I have created it, I could see for myself, I could share it with my guide or maybe with my co-researcher. If it's a collaborative research, I want to share it with my co-researcher. or sometimes even with the students for some reason. So then that sharing is done. They are able to see, they are able to hear. There is, you can see the button of comment. They will be able to comment that, okay, maybe your guide can comment that, analysis of this, or these are strikingly different figures, or something like that, whatever the one wants to say. Now, when I come on, I want to, take it for my PowerPoint presentation, for example. Okay, so in Google Drawing, we saw that we can save that and put it in the Google Drawing, Google Slides. Here, again, that is the limitation of the free version, where you cannot pick up a single a particular image or particular part and put it in the Google Slide or anywhere, any other document. In that case, what you can do is you can you can print screen button could be using the print screen button from my keyboard. So the entire screen gets gets captured in the copy. I have to stop sharing from this and enter into the PPT. Okay, so I'm okay. I open a new slide. This and paste. So this is how the my entire screen capture can come on my screen. But of course, I don't want all this rest of the things from my captured screen. So I can use the crop button and sorry, format. I can use crop, and then I can okay. So my only this particular diagram remains, and rest all everything has now disappeared. So now this kind of a diagram, I can use it in either PPT, in Word document, in reports, and so on and so forth. Okay, so similar modality will have to be followed when it comes to capturing the table. But in table, you can capture in a little bit different manner. You can actually select the table and use it. I'm stopping sharing right now because we don't want to there is no discussion about this right now. So I'm stopping sharing and going back to the Google Chrome. Okay, so like that you can go on capturing things and go on putting those things in the Excel or Word or PowerPoint. That is possible. When it comes to the table, you can see that I can select the matter. Okay, unlike the graph, which is a figure, picture, a graphical part. So there it will not come, but here it is possible. So here you can copy this and paste it in, say, Word or in Excel. But one thing has to be remembered, that the formatting completely goes for toss. So you have to kind of format it once again in whichever other file you are pasting that in. Okay, so that has to be remembered while doing this. Okay, so now this was about the sharing of the results. We back to our dashboard. And now again we are going into my surveys, seeing some different features of SurveyMonkey. As you can see that there are a few surveys. When I click on my surveys, I have a few surveys over here. So I can use those surveys again. Suppose there are certain questions which I want to change. Let me just make the screen a little bigger. You can see that there are these many surveys are there, and they can be used again later on. Okay, but one question within that I want to change. So then is that possible? So yes, that is possible. I can do that very much. Okay, so if I on this last three dots, you can, I'm sure you will be able to see. Okay, so here is the, suppose there is the education preferences is the one study or one tool that was created by me. And I come in the last part of this row, click on this, right click on the three dots. Sorry. Click on these three dots. So I get the options of whether I want to make a copy of this or whether I want to delete it. So I was talking about whether if I want to change the options and want to use it again, reuse it, but not, I don't want to design it entirely new. So I make a copy of that. Let us see, now it will appear in my, okay. Name given is copy of Edu preferences. Original name was only Edu preferences. So I may change this. I don't want the name to be copy of Edu preferences, so I can keep it as Edu preferences. And maybe I'm now conducting this study in June 2020. So I can make that change in the title so that it becomes a different tool altogether. And whatever options were there earlier, they will keep on appearing. So I save this title first of all. And then your level of study. So there were only two options. I can go on changing and make it free. So I can use edit button and so on and so forth. I can do that. Another interesting feature is, suppose there is, I created this tool with some sequence in mind. Okay. So later on, I want to change that sequence. That quite sometimes it happens. I'm sure all of you must have experienced that. So when I want to change those options, that the first question should be now the third one, the third should be now the fifth one, and so on. So in that case, I can go to the option of move. So it asks me that it is, where do you want the question to appear, before or after, and after what? So there is which city are you, do you like studying? So suppose this is the first question I want to ask. So I would say that I want it before, and I want it to appear as before which city do you want to, do you like to for studying? So I'm clicking on this and move question. So it is like save. So I'm saving this. So that question gets changed to your level of study that comes before the city would you like for studying. Okay, so that way we can go on changing. Now we come back to again our dashboard. When I create, click on create survey. Okay, we saw the option of starting from template. Sorry, we saw the option of building it for me. So it was building for us. Now the second option is start from template. So we go to start from template. There are ready-made templates available. So here at least it was suggesting and we were changing. In case it gives no ready-made templates. Now it asks us that which template would you like to use. So there are so many options available. So whatever category you choose, it will ask you to, I mean, it will take you to that group of ready-made tools that are available. So suppose we want the academic research. I'm not going to education because all of you may not be from necessarily from B.Ed and M.Ed background. Okay, so in academic research, there is one tool that is readily available. So I can click on that. Fine, so it gets open in front of me. So what type of internet access you have, suppose say broadband. So it is direct to the tool. Like that, you can go ahead. Okay, and right now I'm exiting because the purpose is not to solve the tool, but right, like this, the entire tool will be available ready-made. So suppose I want another thing I will try, say from the education. So there are again, this appears again in education. It was in research, again it appears over here. So suppose it is K to 12 parent survey. Okay, so it is directly taking me to the ready questionnaire. So this entire tool is readily available and I don't have time and energy and resource to develop my own tool. So in that case, I can directly use this tool from here and that is very much possible. And last option that is available is the start from scratch. So when I start from scratch, it asks me everything, right from what is the survey name. So suppose I say that, work from home slot. I'm just keeping it small so that survey category is employee engagement. Okay. And then if it is already written, I can choose the questions directly from there, or I can start creating a survey. So I'm going for creation of survey. And rest of the procedure is exactly same as we had seen. It has given the name work from home slot. That is the title of my tool, for example. And maybe question is maybe domain of your work. So it is, maybe I want to give options like it is a regular job or maybe freelancer. Or maybe a business, something like that. Okay, so we have seen earlier in the same manner, it will go on prompting you next question. And like that, you can go on adding more questions to this. So once I'm done with this question, then I can go to the, it's save or I can directly go to next question. The first one, of course, get automatically saved. So you can see that it appears here and then it is asking me what is your next question. So like that, I can go on developing a tool. Right now, we'll just prepare a small tool. So how many hours a day you work during lockdown? Okay, so here maybe I don't want to give options. See, automatically it converted into single text box. So it is, in a way, it is very intuitive. The kind of questions that are being asked, it takes into consideration, and by the time you complete your typing here, it kinds of generates the most possible option over here. Of course, you can change it. Suppose I say I don't want to give a single text box. I want to still give a say maybe drop down where I can put it from 1 to say 20, 24, whatever those options. Or maybe I want to give it in the form of range that I work for 1 to 3 hours or like that slots. If I create, I can definitely go for that. But by default, it is suggesting me that this could be possible. So like that, I can go on adding questions. When I'm done with it, I can ask the questions. I mean, I can complete the questionnaire and I can use it. So it is saving it. So now when I'm saving, I knew that today I had time to create only 2 questions. So, and I had to stop. Okay. So maybe I can then, when I click on my surveys, you can see that the work from home slot has appeared over here. So it is available on in my list that is available. Okay, but I know that I have not completed my work, or my tool is yet not yet ready. I want to work on the tool more, and then I want to share it with people. So in that case, I can click on again design. So the moment I click on design, it will bring me over here. So this is again, that word of design actually works as a edit button. Okay, so it has brought me over here. I can go on, change the wording that, okay, yesterday I thought that these 3 options were okay. Today I want to add 4th and 5th option. So I can do that. Similarly, I can, change the format over here and go on adding more questions. So like that, you can go on working on the same tool in a distributed manner. Like, need not be that at one go you sit and complete the entire tool and, you are done with it. Not necessarily that way. So like that, you can go on using. Okay, now you can see that there are so many features in this Survey Monkey. You can please go on exploring this. The more you explore, the more you are able to find something new every day. As I said, Survey Monkey being more of the proprietary kind of a tool, the basic version or the unpaid version, free version, has very limited options, and it is good for the small surveys. Small studies with less number of questions, with less number of respondents. But if you want to do it again and again, if that is the kind of researches you are handling, then definitely this is a good option. Otherwise, you can go for the paid versions, which will give you more features of, the simple feature, like we couldn't save the file as PDF or, SPSS compatible file. We couldn't do that. But that is possible when it is the paid version. So in the free version, it doesn't allow buying all these things or getting the advantage of all such kind of options. Okay, so let me check chat so that if there is any question over there, I should be able to. I'm just going a little back. Yeah, it creates graphs and tabular forms by itself. Yes. Okay. Okay, fine. That's a limitation. But I'm sure, I think these videos will be available later for you to view, so that whenever you have a laptop or PC at your disposal, then you can definitely view all the videos again later on. Yeah, absolutely right. The more you explore, though you make mistakes, but one learning principle that one can capture through all the exploration of all ICT tools is you play with it, you explore it, make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. Of course, there are YouTube videos, or at times even you sessions like that, but there is still limitation to which the things could be dealt within a limited time span. And that is why more exploration and more doing things and trying to do different things is very, very crucial. And failing is definitely a step. That's the principle one has to remember while using these tools. Okay. We can use snipping tool to yes, you can do that. Tool, you can definitely use that option. That is very much possible. It is useful, yes. Transfer and send a copy. Wait, just one sec. I will come to this question. What option did you mention for changing the sequence? Okay, and I think that's the last. I'll just close this chat now. See, I want to change the sequence. So this is my option. I mean, this is my question that is available. So I go to options. Sorry, I go to move. I go to move, and then it asks me that it is after which question or before which question. That is the first decision I have to give. Okay, because suppose it is the last question already, so there will not be anything after that. So that is why these terms are mentioned over here. So suppose I want it after, and then there are only two questions, so it will appear. But if there are three questions, it will give the possibility that after which question you want to put this question, or before which question do you want to put this question. So basically, this answer to your question is use this move button for moving the location or the sequence of that particular atom in the entire tool. So we have kind of supposed with this. And the question was regarding the sharing, I think, chat. Any advantage of SurveyMonkey? For free version, answer is kind of no. As far as designing is concerned, the only advantage that I can see over here is Google Form does not have ready-made templates and ready-made tools that are available. The repertoire is not available. In case of SurveyMonkey, that repertoire is available. So especially for the novice researchers, like we experience this a lot of times when the master students, like they start with the research. It is like, how, that initial breaking of ice is required. Like some questions should be there or should be given, and then they are able to think ahead, like, okay, this also could be done or it could be put in this manner. So from that angle, I feel that survey definitely is has an edge over Google Forms. You can use those ready-made tool. I mean, the entire tool, or maybe sometimes even the options that are available, or the intuitive items it gives. All that definitely helps. And as I said, if you are not happy with the ready-made option from that, you can definitely go ahead with uh, like, the tailor-made or a combination of both. Like some atoms could be used from there. And video on SurveyMonkey, no. Google this thing. Here you can't add video. That is not possible. Yeah, but one thing is possible. You can give a link maybe here and ask them to see the video and then answer the question based on that video. But for that, they have to go out of SurveyMonkey. And send a copy. Come to that new option. Okay. Which one is the best whether Google Monkey or Google Form or Survey Monkey. It depends on at what stage or how confident you are about the research. If you want some, thank you. If you need that, there is some thinking, if kind of how we see the literature review. Similarly, from that angle, the starting with SurveyMonkey would help. Maybe you can also use it like take it from SurveyMonkey, basic thinking, and then go on to Google Form. And as I mentioned earlier, it was that is why the sequence was planned in today's session, that first we speak about SurveyMonkey and then we speak about Google Form. But unfortunately that like there were technological glitches, so we couldn't. So there was a question about sharing or sending. So we will come to that part. Now, sorry, that was about analysis of results once. I go to my survey and then and it was about sharing. So it is not allowing me. It asks that okay, go for upgrade. So this is my analyze results. Okay, now it goes save as share link. We saw export file. So when it is summary data, it will take you to paid. Okay, so we can, if it is, again, it will take you to the paid version. And the individual responses again. So basically, when I go to save as, I cannot export this file unless I have paid version. Now, while we are seeing this, please have a look at this extreme right left corner, that paid feature. So export your survey file as PDF, XLSO, you can use it, PPTX, or transfer it to SPSS for further processing. So all this is possible only with the paid version. So from that angle, I would say that SurveyMonkey has limitation, I would say. But nevertheless, we have seen that how to capture that data. For example, now put it into PPT slide. So that is possible. How we saw that how we can do it by capturing the screen and then cropping off the matter around it. So that is very much possible. Okay, so that's what about SurveyMonkey. Any more questions?
Ma'am, there is also a question in can we make survey in Hindi? You did mention about Unicode.
Yes. You can make the survey in Hindi or any language for that matter, as long as the Unicode compatible like typing is used. So you can, for example, type in either Google Doc or you can type in Google Transliteration and then Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, Odia, whatever language, and then prepare it there and copy paste it here. That is possible. Or if you download Google Transliteration, say Hindi, and then you it is a toggle. No? You can either put it on or off. If you put it on, then you can, while typing itself, it will also come in Hindi. That is possible. But the time saving option could be that you a document, or you can have it in a downloaded Word document and copy paste it in the form. That is possible. Yeah, we can't save it as PDF. I showed you that this is the, let me make it bigger. You can see that in order to export the survey data in any other form or format, it has to be a paid version. You can't, right now, see, we are playing with the free version as of now. So this is the limit with the free version. Any advantage of SurveyMonkey over Google Forms that we saw? There was nothing else. Okay. Any advantage of okay.
Madhvi ma'am,
Answered PDF. Yes.
Madhvi ma'am, we're almost running out of time. In fact, we've reached time. So the rest of the questions we will email to you and you can respond to them.
Sure, sure, sure. I was just saying whether there are any questions. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Betty, and the entire team once again for sorting that technological glitch that we unfortunately faced in the morning. Thank you, Professor Bhan, and I once again thank Jayashri ma'am for the last minute help in this. Thanks a lot.
Kanchana ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Madhavi ma'am. Using technology is like solving a mystery for many of us. I should put myself in the list first. But you have really patiently explained step-by-step procedure of using Smart Monkey. So we feel very, what do you say? Oh, I feel very empowered to use technology now. So I'm sure that any participants like me also feel very good about being able to use it with so much of guidance and clear steps from your side. That was a very wonderful session. Many participants have given an online feedback, very hands-on approach, and Dr. Mukhopadhyay has said it's a very, very practical approach to the tool you were trying to introduce. So it was a very quite a session, and thank you very much for keeping up to the time. You really saved us and made us break on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again.
I'd like to add one more thank you here. We have Professor Jayanti Narayan also attending our session. She's again one of very, very senior
Thank you so much.
Faculty from the field, Deputy Director of a National Institute and consultant all over. I mean, since the theme of the conference is changing landscape in education systems, so we all have to equip ourselves how to use technology. So, so thank you, Madhuri. I'm sure the participants must have taken tips from you, learn these new techniques, and now when we give them the practice session, they will. These are some things unless you practice, you can't. You have to explore it yourself. So we give them some peep into it in the afternoon, then they can explore it at their leisure, at their own convenient time. But I'm sure they must have really appreciated this hands-on thing. So thank you, Madhuri. That was really nice. That was really, really good. Very informative and very
Thank
practical.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.